Hey, this is Mark again. Let's talk today about some things that you should consider before you launch a Google Ads search campaign. Keep in mind that you're going to have a significant investment in Google Ad spend and in management and in wasted Google Ad spend if you're running the ads yourself or if you're running the campaigns yourself. So let's walk through some of these things that you should know before you launch a search campaign. Number one, do I know the average lifetime value of a client? So do you keep those types of calculations, even if you've done them once a year, once every 3 months, or if they're current and up to date? Do you have some idea of what the average lifetime value of a client is for your business? That's super important to know because that will go into determining if the cost per lead, the cost per close is reflective of the type of cost you can afford for the campaign. And a couple of things that come up when I talk about average lifetime value of a client. The number one thing when I ask this question that I get back is, oh, well, my clients, they pay different things. It's never quite the same. Exactly. That's why we threw the word average in there. Average lifetime value of a client. What's the average? So you take 10 accounts, you average out, you sum up what those 10 accounts have paid, or maybe if you have 10 accounts that you look at, and one is a super low dollar account and one's an anomaly because they spent 3 times what they usually do, you throw those two out. And then you go with the 8 accounts left, sum up everything they've ever spent with you, divide that by 8. That's the average lifetime value of a client. Let's move on to the next one. Does the revenue from the service that we offer provide us with the margin to run paid advertising? I'm going to give you an example here. Let's say you're in the junk business and you're picking up couches, and you're charging $150 for that. It's really unlikely at $150 that you're going to be able to afford to pay for leads on Google Ads because they're not the cheapest ads in the world. They're the highest quality, therefore not the cheapest. And some niches, junk being one, often have higher click costs than you would think are relevant for the service that you're offering. It's just the way it is. Let's say I got $50 leads in the junk space, and it takes me, I close a third of them. So now I've closed a deal, but it cost me $150 to close it. And now I'm going to go pick up a couch, and that's $200. You're going to lose money. So does the revenue from our service provide us with the margin to run paid advertising? So if you have some low-end stuff and you don't have any lifetime value, like you're not going to go back every 3 months and pick something up, or you're not going to go back to that client and, pick up more junk later, and that's one transaction is the lifetime value of a client, then you really have to consider whether Google Ads are the thing for you to run, or if you can find some way to bump your revenue up to make it appropriate. Number 3, do I know my approximate close rate on leads? I know everybody's not completely zoned into their CRM all day because you run the business, but you should have a rough idea. Do I close half my leads? Do I close a third of my leads? Do I close 10% of my leads? Because that's going to get you to the cost of what it costs you to close a single sale. If you close 33.33% of your leads, then you can take your average lead cost times 3. That's what it costs you to close a deal. Can you make money doing that? Or can I increase my close rate? Remember, a business fundamental, measured processes improve all the time. Okay, number 4, what am I currently paying for leads, or what am I willing to pay for a quality lead that isn't shared with any competitors? I added that last part because if you're using Angie or Thumbtack, those leads are often shared. You're paying $50 a lead, and you're thinking, man, I got a great deal, but they're sharing it with 5 other people. So that's a $250 lead if it's unshared. So you have to compare, what the actual value of that lead is to what you're paying in Google Ads. So what would I pay for a lead? Let's say you're just living on referrals, you're living on things that you're hanging on door hangers, you're living on signs, you're living on numbers on the back of your vehicles, and you're not running ads and you don't really know what it costs. Then you have to imagine and build out a number that is reasonable for you to pay. The one way I ask people this question is, if I could make your phone ring right now for someone that wants what you do, how much would you pay for it? Would you pay $50, $100, $200? What would you pay to make that phone ring right now? That gives you an idea of what you'd pay for a lead. You should not go into Google Ads thinking that the first month is going to pay for the second, third, and fourth month, or that you're going to be immediately profitable. The goal is to become break even as soon as possible And the goal with Google Ads is to create a long-term, reliable flow of quality leads that you can monetize. So you want to make sure that you have enough budget to run for 1, 2, 3 months before you quit, because some campaigns jump off to a great start. Some campaigns take a little longer. Why is that? Maybe it's the search volume, maybe it's competition, maybe it's your reputation. There's lots of factors that go into it. How much can I afford to pay for management? You have to add that to your monthly ad spend. So if you're going to pay us $500 or $1,000 or $1,500 for management and you have a $3,000 ad spend, you have to take that into consideration. Now you're at $3,500, $4,000, $4,500, something like that. This is a question that comes up a lot, and you have to really consider it. Do I have the requisite skills to run an effective Google Ads search campaign? If not, pay someone. And I say that because of this. Whatever you pay someone is going to come back to you in wasted ad spend, because you'll waste a lot of money not knowing how to run a Google Ads campaign. You'll waste a lot of money even if you watch 3 videos. You're going to waste a lot of money on your Google Ad spend. Pay someone that knows what they're doing. Okay, so that brings us to the next question. Do I have the ability to determine if this person I've talked to has the ability to run Google Ads campaigns effectively to generate leads for my business? That's where you have to get into what their processes are. This is where you might have to learn a little bit about Google Ads to know what's effective. You might have to take a course, or you might have to find someone who's got a really strong reputation where you can see their work on YouTube, you can see their work on social, or you can talk to people about them and you know that they're really good at it. Just don't assume that because an agency offers Google Ads that they know anything about how to do Google Ads. That's 2 different things. So do you have the requisite skills to run it, or the ability to properly vet somebody to run them for you? And then the final question, this comes up all the time. Do we answer our phone? Do we follow up immediately on form leads? And when I say if you answer your phone, that does not mean you answer it, yeah, or hey, this is me. It means you answer it professionally and you're prepared on that call to sell. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have someone in the office. Maybe you can't afford someone yet, but that means that if you're working out in the field, that cell phone has to be on has to be turned on. And when you pick it up, you have to be ready to get in client service sales mode. And if someone submits a lead to you, remember, they're still looking until they hear back from you, and until you explain your services, until you set up a time to speak, they're still looking. Get back to them fast. That is the number 1 killer of your leads. It's not answering the phone, not responding quickly. Hopefully you found this chart helpful. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, reach out to me, find me on Facebook, X, LinkedIn. If you want a copy of this, just send me an email at mkelly@inboundrevenue.com. I'll send it over to you.